Hey, it's Dave. Midweek Friday, update time. And I'm tightening the core after Wednesday's video where we built around Burrow and Chase. Some picks stay. A few flip based on ownership, matchup shifts, and news. I'm moving my primary quarterback exposure to Baker Mayfield at 6,600 with a dash rank of 100. He draws Atlanta, who have one of the worst defenses overall with an opponent rank of 29. He's projected for 20 with a 24 fantasy points per game baseline and a last three line of 17, 38, and 26, so the ceiling is live and the floor's been better than people think. At 5.68% ownership, he's under the radar for a QB with that profile. There's also a steady drumbeat of pieces highlighting his resurgence alongside Jared Goff, which I read as confidence and stability in role. And that matters for volume. If you played the Burrow stacks from Wednesday, I'm not abandoning them, but I'm prioritizing Baker for the price plus leverage. For value quarterback, I'm pivoting from Spencer Rattler to Kirk Cousins at 4,600. Tampa Bay have one of the worst defenses overall with an opponent rank of 22, and this salary gives you flexibility to jam premium skill players. His recent game log at 0, 0, and 8 is ugly, so this is strictly a tournament punt where I'm banking on veteran efficiency if we get starter confirmation. Quarterback projections stabilize after multiple starts. Cousins has the track record, so if he's in, the price is the edge. Monitor news given the Falcons' QB chatter this week. Running back stays the same up top. Devon Chain at 6,900 with a dash rank of 100. Indianapolis have one of the worst defenses overall with an opponent rank of 28. He's projected 17 with 18 fantasy points per game, and that high variance profile we want in tournaments at 6, 34, and 15 in his last three. Ownership around 17.36% is fair for his explosive upside. I'm keeping him in core builds, but we need final status. Miami coach Mike McDaniel offered a crucial update on a Chain's injury earlier in the week, so I'll be watching the questionable tag through inactives. If you need a true punt at running back, Alec Ingold at 4,000 carries a dash rank of 64. Same soft overall matchup against Indy at opponent rank 28. This is a large field sprinkle only. The touch floor is thin, and his recent fantasy history is 0, 0, and 0. The only thesis is salary relief plus correlated touchdown variance if Miami lives in the red zone and Akane's workload is managed. At wide receiver, I'm keeping Jamar Chase at 8,100 with a dash rank of a 100. Cleveland have one of the worst defenses overall with an opponent rank of 23. He's projected for 20 with a 25 fantasy points per game baseline and a rock-solid last three of 22, 22, and 18. Ownership near 23.94% is justified. Training camp reports had him dialed in heading into 2025, and he remains the highest leverage correlation if you still run Burrow stacks from Wednesday. I'm swapping the core flex from Puka to Nico Collins at 7,400 with a dash rank of 100. The Rams carry one of the worst defenses overall with an opponent rank of 25. Nico projects for 16 with 19 fantasy points per game and a last three of 13, 28, and 9. Ownership at 17.66% is healthy but not prohibitive. The key news that pushes me here is that C.J. Stroud is back in action, which stabilizes Houston's passing efficiency and raises Nico's touchdown equity. For salary relief at wideout, Xavier Legette at 4,200 remains in the pool with a dash rank of 100. Jacksonville have one of the worst defenses overall with an opponent rank of 31. He's projected for 7 with 8 fantasy points per game and a last three of 8, 0, and 3. Ownership at 0.86% gives you leverage in a game that can pop. He was highlighted among rising talents for 2025, so I'm sticking with the buy low thesis. Tight end is a change. I'm moving from Trey McBride to David Njoku at 4,700 with a dash rank of 100. Cincinnati have one of the worst defenses overall with an opponent rank of 24. Njoku projects for 11 with 14 fantasy points per game, but he's volatile with a last 3 of 0, 15 and 0. Ownership at 9.3% is right where I like him for tournaments. This also fits game theory. If you still play the Burrow and Chase side, Njoku is an optimal bringback. Local pieces this week weren't performance-driven, but the steady visibility around Njoku and the Browns, plus league-wide injury roundups, remind me the target tree is condensed when games tighten. For value tight end, I'm moving to Tommy Tremble at 2,500 with a dash rank of 67. Jacksonville have one of the worst defenses overall, with an opponent rank of 31. He's questionable, so this is a news-dependent punt, but his recent fantasy history at 0, 6, and 4 shows a path to paying off, near-min salary with a single red zone look. If he's in, he pairs nicely with Leggett or Coker in Carolina stacks. Value flex remains Jalen Coker at 3,700 with a dash rank of 90. Same juicy overall matchup against Jacksonville at opponent rank 31. He's projected for 6 with 9 fantasy points per game and a last 3 of 6, 3, and 24. Ownership at 3.2% is perfect for game stacks alongside Leggett if you're chasing a low-cost shootout. Defense shifts to the Dolphins at 2,700 with a dash rank of 92. They face Indianapolis, who have one of the worst defenses overall with an opponent rank of 20, and I like the correlation with a Kane if Miami controls script. Ownership at 1.44% gives you splash play leverage at a discount. The punt defense stays the Titans at 2,200 with a dash rank of 74. Denver have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall with an opponent rank of 19. Recent DST scores are 3, -1, and 6, which fits the profile we want in salary relief defenses. Ownership around 1.96% is right for tournaments. Quick recap and why the pivots happened. Core QB shifts to Baker for price and leverage in a matchup against one of the worst defenses overall, backed by strong recent production and steady comeback coverage pieces that signal trust and volume. A Kane remains a priority, pending Mike McDaniel's update. The opponent is soft, and the ceiling is elite. Chase remains the alpha, WR. Nothing in data or news dissuades that. Flex moves to Nico with Stroud's return boosting efficiency. Tight end pivots to Njoku for savings and correlation in Bengals-Browns builds. Dolphins D offers cheap leverage. Titans remain the punt. Value pool updates to Cousins and Tremble as news-sensitive darts, while Leggett and Coker stay for game stack leverage. I'll be back with any late news, especially on a chain and Tremble. Build smart, embrace the ownership gaps, and good luck this week.